Let's do it, guys. Big Brain Bouts, number 47. We have recovered. We're going to do our best to make it a fun Friday night of video games. Alerts are disabled in the game, but not when we're out of game. Thank you, SC Jax, for the 48 months. I was surprised that Steadfast said he wanted someone around 5k, 5-1. I was like, well, I've got someone, but it's not going to be easy. But he said he's ready. He says he's been playing quite a bit. And he wanted to have another chance in the Big Brain Bouts. And obviously we love Steadfast and all the things he does for the community. So if he wants it, he gets it. He's going to play against NoMercy, a German Terran player who has never played before. So we're keeping our tradition of trying to invite new players. NoMercy is asking if we're ready. I am ready. Sorry. Steadfast is now ready as well. I will be alone in the beginning. Later tonight, I think we have TKL joining as well. And we will also have Indy joining for a bit. What he really meant was give me sell. There's a good chance that is what he really meant. The Gamba is already open, I think. I started it before. Yeah, it is open. You just have to press F5. So let's do it. A Canadian Zerg versus a German Terran. A first time for this man. A second or a third time for the other lovely dude.
Let's get it on.
That's kind of loud.
Round 1. Fight.
I'd say that's better. Top right side, playing for the first time ever after he reached out, slid into those RotterdaMs, and he said, Roddy, are you still looking for people to play in the Big Brain Bouts? And I said, always. And he wanted to have a shot. I know him from the ladder. I know he plays some online tournaments as well, representing Maral Sports, I believe it is. That is correct. This is NoMercy. First time ever. I am not that familiar with how he likes to play, but we're going to figure it out together. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our Passion Lord, the man who makes as many hours as we do. He's always there, always casting. He knows what to do, but is he capable of executing it at the highest level? This is Storm Gaming's Steadfast, our Canadian Starcraft 2 caster. If Steadfast would have not said anything, I would have probably given him someone that's a little bit lower ranked. Like a couple hundred MMRs below NoMercy. And there's always people that are eager to play around that MMR as well. But he said like, nah, anything between 5k and 5.2. I was like, alright mate, if you want it, you can get it. It is always supposed to be hard, obviously. Nobody ever gets like an easy matchup or a free win. But I do think this is going to be hard because I've ran into NoMercy a few times on the ladder. And I don't remember the games that well, but I do think he's pretty good. So I think Steadfast has his work cut out for him. But he said, Roddy, I've been playing a lot, I've been grinding, I'm ready. Let's see, guys. It has already been a long day of Starcraft, but a very nice day. As obviously both of the BASILISK Zergies made it into the playoffs of Master Colosseum. And we are very happy about that. We'll see Sarah and Rainer play again next week. As they actually enter a double elimination bracket. I didn't even know that that is what we are going to do. But that's pretty cool. So successful day. Can we make it even more successful? NoMercy is going Reaper fast expand with SCV Scout and a second barrack. So maybe it's going to lead into some sort of a 2-1-1. The last time that Steadfast played in the Big Brain Bouts, I believe that he played against our good friend the Multi. That did not go very well. Molten 1-3-0, and I was pretty surprised by that outcome back then. But Steadfast did say later, he's like, that week just didn't really work out for me. Some things came in between and I couldn't really practice. I wasn't feeling it. He's like, I'll be better this time around. Let's see. I am excited. So far, so good. We're not losing any drones. Obviously, if we would have been ending up losing a drone here, that would have been a rough start to our Friday evening. I think NoMercy is quite good. Steadfast, one of his drones, by the way, was hogging the unbuildable bricks there. Probably not where you're gonna find a pot of gold, but we never know. Thank you to Atticus as well. Welcome, matey. It's obviously already been a very sick Friday. This morning was crazy. There's so many people watching, so much hype, so much passion. And I think overall good vibes. And perhaps that is the most important thing. It is 3 Marines at a time, so I assume Reactor Tech Lab is 2-1-1 of 2 bases. Could obviously still drop a third command center, but it's not going to be mega quick. Also, no Hellion Banshee to kick the night off with, which I do not mind. I think we got a bit of everything today. We're going to start the night with a TVZ, and we're going to end the night with a TVZ. The final match, obviously, is Rainer against Clambot. That's a very different TVZ than this one. Like, these guys are good, but when I say good, I mean respective to the average level in the community. We're gonna see pretty decent video games, but of course nothing is going to compare to the violence that Rainer and Clem would like to bring. And especially after Clem lost today. A bit of a big match. All of a sudden, guys, Clem looks human. Almost got reverse swept yesterday. It was very close. And then earlier today, it was Dark who got the best of him. I'm curious to see what kind of a Clem is going to show up tonight. That is a pretty quick lair by Steadfast. 4-minute lair before Evo Chambers just wants to get bailing speed by the looks of it as quickly as possible. If we take a look at what Steadfast has scouted, I think we can all agree that it's not been a whole lot. He was going to take a little sneak peek there with the Overlord, but the Overlord flies into 5 Marines. I think the 5 Marines and the lack of Hellions that you've seen so far, that should be a bit of a tell, as the Lynx did kill the Reaper. I think Steadfast knows what's up, and he should know that he's going to need a couple of units now. He also needs Overlords, but he's got that on the way too. Actually, it looks pretty good what Steadfast is doing so far. But the first real skill check is going to happen here, as these Marines are going to show up, reveal themselves, and Stim is ready. He might have felt the... did he stay up till 3 AM? I know that he was playing in the Ursa brawl of our man Bruno. But here are the Marines. They're going to take out 6 or so creep tumors very quickly, but do not want to commit and battle the Queens. Was it really that late? At first I told Bruno that I was down to play as well, because I think a Showmatch against TLO would have been a lot of fun. But then I realized the week that I've had, and obviously the Friday that I had ahead of me, with 6 best of 3s in Masters Coliseum and then 4 best of 5s in the BBB. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry Bruno, I'm going to have to pass. Next time I would love to play TLO, that sounds really fun. But Thursday evening at 1 AM when you have a long Friday, that's not really the best time. Good afternoon, Sap. Yeah, no, they had a great series. Went all 5 games. TLO won as well. Pretty impressive, to be honest, because Dolan is good. Dolan even participated in the Home Story Cup. Steadfast is floating a little too much here, though. We're obviously not going to be overly critical. We know that Steadfast is no Rainer or Saro, and it's going to be a little bit harder to do all the things correctly. 53 drones, 1,000 minerals in the bank. We have the 2 Evos, but we haven't started our upgrades yet. It's a little too much. It's a tiny bit too much. Steadfast is going to have to get on top of it. Because NoMercy is pretty good, and he's not going to give him a whole lot of breathing room. I also saw that Steadfast joined our lovely Discord, by the way. Lucky us, guys. After all these years, Steadfast is like, you know what? I want to spend some time with the Roddy people. Since 3 or 4 medevacs. It is 3 medevacs. Tanks and Marines are going to make their way into the high ground. Steadfast is a bit out of position and still does not have that many units. The Queens, the Lings are leading the charge. We do have bailing speed, but the Queen gets targeted. We're trying to set up a bit of a surround. I think the idea of the surround is good. Bailings will connect. That's good for Steadfast. See if the final Bailings can connect with the last few Marines. That won't happen, and he doesn't quite get the tank. He's so close. Maybe the Queens can get the tank. The Queens should be able to get the tank. Should see that Widowmine here as well. Alright. The fight was good. The engagement was good. The units that Steadfast is going for, all of it looks good. He does need to really get on top of his macro. He's going to drop the dark macro hatch. And at this point, I wouldn't even say another macro hatch is the wrong idea. As we see 17 Bailings on the way. The Queens are going to have to transfuse the ever-living hell out of each other if we want to stay alive here. We need Lings and we need Banes. We have some Lings chilling in the natural. It's a shame that we can't spend our money. Because if you would have, let's say, 12 extra Lings, 18 extra Lings, and those are going to run on top of the SCVs while NoMercy is attacking you, it'd be a lot more difficult for Steadfast. Nice pickup over here by NoMercy, who I think looks pretty clean. I don't think he's really done a whole lot wrong so far. Maybe he was hoping for a tiny bit more of that Marine tank push, but it wasn't too bad. We have an armory coming online as well at the perfect moment, so you can fire up those two upgrades. Kind of like what I see out of NoMercy so far. Now this is obviously played on the European server. Game 2 will be played on the American server. That is going to make Steadfast's life a tiny bit easier. This is where it's going to get really hard, especially if we are floating. Now, once we start building Hydras, it's a little bit easier to spend all of our money. But we're going to have to spend that money right here, right now, because we're about to deal with an army on the top side of the map and a potential triple drop at the bottom side of the map. Here comes our German Terran, NoMercy once more, as this time around he finishes what he started in the beginning of the game and he gets the hatchery. And he gets out of there. Can he make his way into the main with double spore? Probably a bit too much. So far, 2024 has been a great year for Starcraft. It's been non-stop. It takes a lot for me to get tired and be like, man, I've been doing a lot lately. Because it's always... I find it kind of easy most days, but... At the end of this very long week, I am really starting to feel it. I'm very happy that we don't have too many obligations over the weekend. So we can just recover and get ready for another crazy week of Starcraft on Monday. The drone count is a little bit low on the side of Steadfast. Like 59 drones is not really where we want to be. And of course the man did lose a hatch. But that's still just not very pleasant. If we want to play Hydraling Bane of Lair Tech, we want to be looking at like 70 plus workers at this point at the bare minimum. And obviously keep on spreading creep, stay on top of everything. That doesn't mean that he does not have a chance, because if he maxes out on Hydraling Bane and he takes a good fight, anything is possible. We do not have Burrow, by the way. I wish we did, because I am a sucker for Burrow. Hydras might be able to get one of the medevacs, and we do get one of the medevacs, so that's a nice little pickoff for Steadfast, especially because that was one of the medevacs that was carrying a couple of Marines. Sensor Tower gets built as well for NoMercy. Don't expect too much a late game between these two players. Like, I think ZVT can be a very explosive and action-packed matchup, especially if the guys are not 7k anymore. They will just go for it, do their best, and see whenever they can kill the other guy. Planetary Fortress is not ready yet, and Steadfast is going to put all that money he's been sitting on to good use. He already has 14 Banes, he's going to make 31 more. Also has an infestation pit. We want to be careful that we don't lose all of our links before the Banelings show up. Can we find good connections with the Hydras and links and Banes? Yes, but there's still so many Marines left too. It all comes down to the Banes needs to kill that command center, and he does. Banelings are now going to try to make their way through the front line. There's one Widow Mine running away from the army. Imagine if that mine was burrowed. It will burrow. So Steadfast gets the command center, gets some units. He needs to go away, by the way, because if these mines fire again, his entire army gets obliterated. I'm afraid it was not quite good enough, because the investment was massive. And sure, he gets a few things done, but once more, I think he was hoping for a bit more of the army as well. Good control on the Marines, obviously, on the side of NoMercy. I know when we watch the very best Terran players out there, they make it look easy to keep our Marines alive. Until we try to play some Terran ourselves, and if we then see 30 plus Banelings running into our Marines, we're like, oh my god, Terran is hard. Hello, Nady. Good afternoon. Well, good morning to you. Good evening for us. Look at our boy Steadfast battling, Nate. Steadfast wanted some of that German Terran smoke. It's not quite Big Gabe that he's going up against. But NoMercy is good. Hive is close to finishing up as we are entering mid. Ooh, this is big Widow Mine shots. Yeah. Widow Mines obviously are problematic on every single level. In the end, NoMercy is going to try to pick up all of these Marines. Not bad, not the cleanest pickup either. Let's see if Steadfast, guys, is better than Raynor. Oh, baby, Hive is done. Fires up with Reno Glens immediately. Steadfast knows what's good for him. NoMercy is looking for a opening in, I don't know, the triangle, the main. I don't know what we're going to go for in the end. Unloads a couple of Marines in the back of this main. Steadfast is going to basically have to his entire army back to deal with it. As he queues up a very casual 16 drones, but maybe losing a couple of these drones was good for him, because he's like, I lose 7, I need to rebuild drones. It's built 21, alright. Blackjack for Steadfast, guys. Pay these men his money. NoMercy is so Marine heavy. This is maybe that phase in the game where adding a second starport and getting some Liberators, or dropping a Ghost Academy and getting some Ghosts would not be a poor life decision. NoMercy says, nah, that's not my style. I believe in the Marine and the Marauder. Marines and Marauders are good, but if you have to deal with like 30, 40 Banelings over and over again, it's not going to get easy. We've had some snow here as well. Actually, so much snow that I still cannot play any Padel. Steadfast went for a tiny Linger on by, but those Lings get obliterated by a Widow Mine. The tank is also keeping the natural safe. Hello, Bruno. How was your night yesterday, Bruno? Hosting the Ursa Brawl, no ball. I thought we went for the Ursa Super Bowl, you know, but if it is a brawl, mate, I'll take notes and learn. I saw a little bit of PLO versus Dolan. Seemed like you guys had a good series. Steadfast is down in supply, but with this many Banelings, I do believe, and especially near an acceleration zone, this is going to be a very hectic fight. There are so many Widow Mines, but the Widow Mines actually kind of fire at a couple of Lings at a time, a couple of Overseers. And good news for Steadfast is that all of the Widow Mines did disappear before the Overseers died. As he's now getting Burrow. It seems like these two are actually a very good match for each other. Always makes me happy, because especially the first best of 5 of the night, you know, it's going to be a bit hit or miss. Sometimes we have a perfect match. Sometimes one player is just a bit more solid and better than the other one. But especially with this game being on the European server, kind of like what I see. 16 minutes in. Honestly, I would say it's anybody's game. Steadfast is getting some Vipers now. I'd be happy for Steadfast if he wins. Especially after he got bought by Multi in the past. That'd be very cool. Obviously, first series of the day, I didn't cover it yet, but we have $60 on the line for the winner and $15 for the loser. That money is provided by Basilisk, as we have a lot of friendly fire from these Widow Mines. Steadfast doing a really good job in dragging those Widow Mine shots underneath those Medevacs. Medevacs die, bio units die. And he's starting to kind of do his thing. It looked a little bit grim, as it felt that he was floating too much in the beginning and that maybe NoMercy was just kind of all over him, but honestly, Steadfast kind of cooking right now. As we even set up some burrowed Banelings. Okay, now Steadfast is just flirting with me. He just wants me to fall in love. I am a taken man, Steadfast. But I am very interested. As he's gonna get on top of that orbital in the bottom right side. Those burrowed Banelings, keep an eye on them. Ooh, those Marines were close to it. Easily kills his command center. He could maybe burrow 1 or 2 Banes here as well. Not going to do that. We're gonna maybe burrow these guys. Yep, that is exactly what he does. NoMercy does throw down a scan. And don't forget, this is not an army of Marauders and Ghosts. That, oh my god, he moved them a little bit. That is risky, by the way, because I feel like there was vision, but it works. Both of them have a lot of burrowed units. Burrowed Widow Mines versus burrowed Banelings. Steadfast wants to get another engagement. He's going to push this army over the burrowed Banelings. Boom! That is a lot of Marines dying, and now NoMercy is regretting picking up all of these units. 1 or 2 of the mines do obviously get decent shots of the Hydra. Should finish off the orbital. Steadfast playing good. He did not lie when he said he's been playing a lot more, because it really does show. It's impressive. NoMercy is like 5-1 or 5-2 on the European server from time. Something like between that. Sometimes 5k, and I think he peaks at like 5-2, maybe even close to 5-3. And this is an excellent first game by our Canadian Zerg caster. I'm starting to believe that he's going to bring it home. We have 5 orbitals left. That's obviously good, and 1 planetary. So NoMercy not totally down and out yet, but does not seem to be a lover of the Ghost. Ghosts look incredibly overpowered in the hands of guys like Maru and Clem. But if you're not that great, it is not easy to use Ghost. And feel comfortable with them, because they move very different than the Marines and the Marauders do. We have a lot of burrowed Banelings. Is Steadfast going to create a highlight reel for the ages? Oh, who the hell is this nerd? Where is Steadfast? What has happened? How is Steadfast this cool? He's just flexing over here. What is happening? Steadfast so cool. Legit sick. Those are massive connections. Oh, he frees up a bit of supply as well. I would have loved to see maybe a few less Lings and now slightly quicker transition into Lurkers. As my monitor went off there for 0.1 second, but we are back. NoMercy probably knows that he's in a little bit of trouble. He is gonna try to get Liberators out, but is it too late for them lips? Widow Mines are always good. Widow Mines continue to be good, but the Swarm is here again. Steadfast looking for another orbital. Can he get another orbital? Not yet. Let's make some lurkers, mate. You have a lurker, then you have Hive Tech, you have Seismic Spines finishing up. Adaptive Talons doesn't take very long. Runs a couple of links forward, gets on top of this ramp as well. There are 2 tanks that are a bit exposed. Steadfast so rich right now that we're using banelings on tanks and orbitals. Why the hell not? We do need some lurkers though. Because the Terran army is still big, the Terran army is still powerful and still has potential. As banelings try to connect with the Marines, but the Marauders hold the line. They absorb the majority of them Banes. I don't think that NoMercy is too much of a turtle Terran. Seems to be an aggro boy. Seems to love the Marines and the Marauders, and he's here to battle, but... Come on, Steadfast, please make lurkers, mate. This is a dream scenario for lurkers. I don't get it. He's got lurkers, he's got Hive Tech, he's got Seismic Spines. If he shows up with 10 lurkers now, there is nothing that Marines and Marauders can do. Even 6 or 7 lurkers. You guys can ask Benjamin Baker all about that. Maybe we can land a Parabomb or Nodaki kills a medevac with the Hydras. That was full of Marines. Drops a parasitic bomb as well. And NoMercy is in trouble as he's running for the hills. But these Marines and Marauders will run out of area to run. They cannot make it up the ramp. And I think that is pretty much it. Steadfast takes the 1-0 lead after a 21-minute game. And it's not just that he took the lead, baby. It's the way how he did it. With a couple of absolutely monstrous burrowed banelings connections. And we're going to hop over to the American server for game 2. Very good performance. I'm legit impressed, guys. I did not expect it. I figured it could be close. I kind of thought that NoMercy was like a tiny bit favorite, but I was like, alright, you know. I know that Steadfast can be good, and I know he's been pretty high ranked in the past. But this was really cool. Very well done. Game 2, we swap over to the American server to keep things fair. So game 1, NoMercy had ping advantage. Game 2, we're going to give Steadfast the ping advantage. NoMercy has, I think, been as high as 5-3. Most of the time he's between 5-1 and 5-2. That is what most of the time his MMR is about. Yeah, but it's hard though, Bango, right? Because if you look at Starcraft and you have no fog of war, it's all kind of easy. We're like, oh, there's nothing to worry about, just drone. But if you play Zerg yourself and you see Marines and you see stuff like Banshees or Widow Mines, you're always like, oh, I need units, I need units. It takes a lot of confidence and game knowledge and experience to get good enough to know that you can just skyrocket up to 80 something working. The second game will be played on Hecate. As TKO has now joined us as well, and he says, sorry I missed game 1. No worries, mate. Good luck, good luck. I want to whisper Steadfast, but I don't want to get him out of his concentration zone. There are no more best of 45s. That was a one time and a one time only. Or at least for now. You know, maybe eventually we'll find another fun best of 45, but that was a bit of an experiment between me and the 4.9k Russian Protoss players, but we're not gonna do that again. Redeemed, answer me. I've got a burning question. Show us those biceps. There is a GIF or GIF. Doesn't matter, right? I say GIF. I've said GIF my entire life. In the Discords right now. I don't know who made it, where it came from. But I actually think it's kind of funny. Where I do show those biceps. And then I've got a cheeky little smile. And for once, I did not actually think I was ugly in that GIF. I was like, you know what? That is a mighty fine looking old man. I like my little GIF. I thought it was cute. I know that you posted it, Pi, but I don't know if you're the one who made it. But I think it's awesome. I'm a fan, mate. Thank you. Round 2 of our opening best of 5 of the night. BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 47. Exclamation mark B for the link to the Wikipedia where you guys can see all the matches tonight. And the final match of the night will be Rainer versus Clem. That should start around 9 p.m. in Europe, which is 5 p.m. on the... No, that doesn't work out at all. 3 p.m. on the East Coast and noon on the West Coast.
Round 2. Fight!
And I'll be covering that one together with Darlambo from the Shopify Rebellion. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of a German Terran. Looked like he was going to win in the beginning because he was a bit more on point. He was in the face of his opponent. He was applying pressure, spending his money. He could not close it out. Turns out that he's not a lover of the ghost. If you're not a lover of the ghost, this matchup can become very difficult. This is NoMercy. First time ever that this young man from Germany plays in the Big Brain Bouts. Bottom left side, already doing a whole lot better than the last time we saw him. In that best of 5 against Multi, not many things went his way. But he said he's been practicing and he wanted to show us what he's made of. And so far, so good. Canadian Starcraft 2 caster, streamer, and all-around cool human being. Storm Gaming's Steadfast. Winning is one thing. But winning with that many burrowed banelings and absolutely monstrous connections? Well, color me impressed. I liked it. I'm a big fan. Previous game we saw NoMercy go for a 2-1-1. I do expect him to show up with a couple of different openings. Obviously these guys have known for a few days in advance that they're going to play against each other. Maybe he has taken a look at some of the VODs of Steadfast, that I don't know. But he had a few days to get ready. And obviously the same goes for Steadfast. But I think when you're playing ZVT, you don't worry that much about what the Terran does. I think you mostly just focus on your own mechanics. Scout, react, and try to execute at a high level. Will Roddy dye his hair like his ice skating pick if Reina wins Katowice? That is a promise that I might be willing to make. It's been a long time since we've had blonde Roddy. I don't think it's that bad of a look on me. If Reina wins Kato, I'd be very happy for my boy. So if you want me to make that promise, I'm willing to make that promise. Oh, NoMercy, NoMercy. Ay, ay, ay. The only one with NoMercy so far is Steadfast. As the Steadfast kills the Reaper, guys. The Reaper tried to get a drone. Tried to get a Ling, was a bit greedy. Perhaps not totally used to the ping of playing on what I assume is US East. And that is correct. Well, that's a great start, guys. For the man who's up 1-0. Around 5,100 soda. I always write the MMR in our prediction as well. So if you guys ever see the prediction, you can obviously see it there. But it should be around 5-1. Sometimes it's going to be 5k. Sometimes 5-2. But I think 5-1 is a pretty steady average for these guys. As we now have a couple of Lings with speed running into the natural. It is a lot of Zerglings, which I find a tiny bit odd, but hey, we have them. So we're just going to look at it. And so far it's not all that bad, as he got an SCV, gets the Mew, forces the Orbital to fly for a little bit. Yeah, in his days, he was a bit of a Ravager spam, right? I obviously used to play a lot of games on the American server as well. And I am no stranger to playing against Steadfast. But that was a long time ago. These days, it's been forever that I actually run into him. But I do remember him as a bit of an NA version of Loco. Couple queens, couple drones, and then a whole bunch of roaches and Ravagers. Don't know if we're gonna see that today, but I'd be okay with it. Hellion Cloak Banshee is the name of the game here for NoMercy. That's obviously a very common build in this matchup. It's also very good against somebody who makes a lot of links. And even though we were talking about roaches and Ravagers, we haven't seen those on the menu yet. Maybe it's something about the current map or the maps. And the man does not believe. It works. I mean, it works for Loco. Loco's been enjoying it for I don't know how long. The funny thing is that whenever you talk to Loco, Loco always makes it seem like he's this macro-oriented beast. And I'm like, well, Loco, I've played a couple games against you, mate. And I have rarely seen you go above 52 drones. And then he always gets a bit defensive. He's like, no, me? He's like, Roddy thinks I'm an all-inner. It's because you kind of are. He's like, only against you because you build a lot of Phoenix. Alright, Loco, alright. The Lynx find a few more SCVs on the top side of the map. I saw today I hosted my boy Molten, and Molten was done streaming after like 45 minutes. Then he was hosting Loco, and then we could see Loco draw arrows on his YouTube thumbnails. It's quite the experience if you guys have never seen it yet. We have a second and a third factory go down, and we have an armory go up in the back of the main as well. So NoMercy says, F it. If I am not allowed to make a lot of Marines because you make too many damn banelings, we're gonna battle mech it up, baby. Yeah, it's not even behind the paywall, eh, Poga? YouTube can become a YouTube star. Just look at how I do this. Well, that's not that easy. This is going to be hard, by the way, for Steadfast, guys, because all of these Hellions have morphed into Hellbats. Now, Hellbats obviously don't kill stuff very quick, but they are kind of tanky. And if you don't have any Banelings or Roaches, it's really difficult to deal with them. So as good of a start as Steadfast may have had initially by killing those SCVs and the Mule and the Reaper, this could have been gnarly, but somehow it's not that bad. It feels that NoMercy is a little bit hesitant almost in splitting off a couple of the units. But these drones, guys, they were there for the taking. I really do think he could have killed a decent amount of them. Now he's just gonna go back, and Steadfast probably lets go of a huge sigh of relief, where he's like, well, that could have been a whole lot worse. I could have easily lost 10-15 drones there because I had nothing to battle that many Hellbats. End up losing 5, but yeah, 5 is not too bad. Yeah, I think Steadfast has periods where he plays a lot, and then he has periods where obviously he's too busy casting, but he is the one that reached out to me, just like NoMercy is also the one that reached out to me. If there is nobody that tells me that they want to play in the Big Brain Bouts, I will go out of my way and contact players, but if players that haven't played in a while, if they reach out to me, they send me a message and say, Roddy, I want to play in the Big Brain Bouts, obviously I will gladly make it happen. As long as they are sweet and they have a good track record, then we can always give them a shot. And I know NoMercy is a nice guy. I think we all know that Steadfast is a nice guy. He is the one who said, Roddy, I've been playing a lot. I want to try again in the BBB if that's okay. And I said, hell yeah. Factory count is at 3. We're going up to 5. It is a lot of Hellions. It's a couple of Banshees, and we're now going into them Cyclones. With that new upgrade called the Hurricane Thrusters. Makes them quicker. Cyclones are very good. But it also, at one point, becomes a little bit hard to find the right find for them. These Banshees, by the way, are starting to do their thing. Hyperflight Rotors is not done yet, but Cloak has been done for a while. 5 more drones is not bad. Hellions don't kill a hatchery quickly, so I don't think he can quite kill this. Look at Steadfast, by the way. An 8-minute, 40-second hive. He's a gamer. These Hellions are going to drive into the triangle, and Steadfast is a little bit slow to move the drones this time around, so he ends up losing 18. He's doing better against the Marines than he's doing against the Hellions and the Banshees. Also, that is a lot of queens on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 or 10 queens there, as he has 12 queens in total. Earlier killed 21 SCVs, I believe it is. Now loses 22 drones. Yeah, maybe struggling a little. Now you do have some time against these mech styles. Obviously, it's not as devastating as Bio, where if Bio has a great start, they can run away with it, stim forward, and end the game. That should not happen. I personally would not hate a couple of Infestors here. Lend a Fungo or 2, right? I feel that'd be okay. Maybe he just wants to go quick Lurkers? Viper Lurker? Not totally sure. If we go for a quick hive, most of the time there is a reason. He definitely does not want to be Rainer, by the way. That man just fires up Adrenal Glands over and over again. As the Cyclones are going to take out this hatchery on the left side of the map. More factories? How many factories does a man need? NoMercy says yes. And with yes he means 7. But the tank count, I want to say, is not that high yet. But you're kind of right, Benko. The man already has 8 tanks, so maybe Steadfast does indeed feel that if NoMercy would move out with all those tanks, he needs to get Vipers. Also, what is worth mentioning is obviously that in the previous game we did not get to see any ghosts at all. In the end, the Zerg units will be able to take care of these Cyclones. And if NoMercy is not a lover of the ghost, And we all know that ghosts are great, but not everybody is comfortable with the ghost. And I think in StarCraft 2, if you want to do well, you should just kind of play what you feel good with, what you feel happy with, what you feel comfortable with. You don't want to play the styles that other people tell you to play if you just don't like controlling a certain unit or you're not good with it yet. Obviously, there's money on the line, so these guys, they don't really care how they do it. They just want to win. And NoMercy is not suddenly going to build ghosts because we are watching and we probably expect him to build ghosts. If he doesn't like the unit, if he's not good with it, he's going to try to get the job done with different units. But if you're Steadfast, and you saw this in Game 1, 5 base Terran, Solaris, no ghost, you should be able to have a very good time spamming Vipers here. Get some energy and abduct for days. Lightning clouds for days. Everything for days. NoMercy really needs to scan if he wants to be on creep here. I think he knows that. Steadfast is wondering if he can get a tiny wraparound around this army. That's not totally going to happen, but still gets a couple of the units. Next 12 minutes in, both players are very close to maxing out. Hard for me to call this game. Don't know who's going to take the better fights. Don't know who feels happier with the current comp that they are working with. If this was a proper professional game of StarCraft, I would say that I think I like it for the Zerg as long as there are no ghosts. As we have our first blinding cloud go down, but I don't really know how good Steadfast is against this stuff, and I don't know how good NoMercy is with the current units that he's working with. So it comes down to who executes better than the other dude. 7 Cyclones, by the way, at once. If you've been gone from StarCraft for 18 months and you come back and you see 7 Cyclones on the production tab, you're like, what on earth did I miss over here? What have they done? You can build 2 Cyclones at a time if the reactor is connected to a factory. Cyclones are a lot cheaper, take less supply. And as there is a Viper that's going to lead the charge, drop a blinding cloud on a couple of these tanks, but fighting near a PF, 29 SCVs by the way in that PF. Fighting near a PF with this kind of an army and these numbers, yeah, that's not something you want to do. Even 4 months? Sure, buddy. Human 4. It's gonna be one of these nights again, bully, where you're gonna try to outshine me. Mister, I've lived in Italy and I speak Korean and I'm handsome as hell. I'm not done with you yet. I hope you know that, mate. I do not forget that easily. Anything else you want to share, bully? You want to show that selfie at the top of Mount Everest, mate, or the Kilimanjaro? I know you. Proto says, not whining, but legit, mech can be kind of easy to play. To me, honestly, mate, mech is incredibly hard to play, but that's because I've never really played mech properly. I mean, spamming Cyclones is maybe something that will not be that hard to learn, but like moving the tanks around, moving the Liberators around, knowing when to build Thors and whatnot, I would definitely struggle with that. I think for every Zerg out there or Protoss that will tell you that mech can be easy to play, there is a Terran player that will tell you that it's very easy to build Hydro Link Bay. Everybody looks at the game differently, right? A couple of abducts will land on these tanks. The tanks do fall. Steadfast finds a bit of an opening here, but he's not quite able to kill the command center, or the orbital in this case. Kill any of the SCVs. I just wonder if NoMercy has another step, because I am kind of afraid that eventually this army is not going to be good enough. Steadfast is doing a really good job in rotating his army around the center of the map, so might be able to get a command center here finally. Look at these Hydras go. And the Cyclones are going to get a lot of lock-ons, and that obviously means Steadfast will lose units. I don't really get why he didn't drop a Lurker then this time around. Even though a combination of Hydra, Ling, Bane, Infestor, Viper, I wouldn't hate. Yeah, there are the Infestors. That was cool by Steadfast, but definitely a bit expensive too. 7 factories. We had 5 earlier, then he built 2 extra, so we're looking at a 7 factory Terran. Hello, slowly. And good evening, dear. One of the overseers is gonna get picked off. The tanks are trying to help out from downtown. Getting a couple of shots off. Fun fight. These two really are a good match for one another. Never did I lay in bed and think, you know what I need in my life, guys? NoMercy against Steadfast. But here we are, and I'm not hating it. After 35 minutes of non-stop video gaming, I still don't really know who's the better player between these two. And that means that we did something right. Now, I don't know if I will be thinking about them tonight when I lay in bed, but you never know. Sometimes you do go over your day a little. Maybe I'll close my eyes and I do think about those cyclones or those burrowed banelings. I always say that Starcraft can always be fun on every level as long as the players are close and competitive. You don't have to be 7k to make the games fun. 6k against 6k is fun, 5k against 5k is fun. And even 4k against 4k I think can be very fun. As long as there's some action and one guy is not a lot better than the other. It can be cool. And that is what the Big Brain Bouts is supposed to be all about. We don't always nail it, but so far, so good. 1k against 1k. Maybe that's not that good, guys. I don't think that will ever end. This is a Liberator. Yes, it is. A Liberator in the bottom right side, getting on top of a hatch. Well done. I wonder why Steadfast thinks that lurkers are not the way to go here. Or even in that previous game. We do have Neural Parasite, by the way. And don't forget that Steadfast is going to try to turn this entire Big Brain Bouts into a highlight reel for himself. We had great burrowed banelings. Look at the Neurals. Look at these tanks obliterating the Cyclones. Why is Steadfast so freaking cool tonight? I will never look the same way as Steadfast again because he's just too damn baller. What is happening over here? As the Hydras and Lings are going to make their way across the bridge and he's going to kill all these Cyclones. He's going to get on top of this command center. Will be able to kill it. Of course, did lose a lot of units in that entire fight. And his opponent does have more SCVs, but Steadfast is just a stud. Legitimately impressive what he's doing here. And once more, NoMercy is no pushover, guys. A German Terran that is absolutely going to do his best tonight. And is still fine in this game. But for Steadfast to make all of these awesome plays is legit impressive. If you're smurfing and you do that kind of stuff, it's like, yeah, okay, very cool. But these guys are very close to each other in MMR. He does need more drones or indeed more bases. But hey, Maspa... yeah, I like the idea. I don't know if this was a misclick or a rapid fire has gone wrong. Because we're going from 2 all the way up to 12 infestors. Maybe Steadfast just looks at his bank and says, I have a crazy amount of gas in the bank. I don't have too many minerals. Let's go mass infestor. But we need more drones. We need to saturate this base, and he's done that. And then we need to saturate this one. So at least 6 more. You can actually have 7 more here as well. Anything between 6 and 13 drones extra would be fantastic. I never said it before, Metal Chobo, but tonight I am feeling it. We're gonna need some fungals here, though, as that hatchery unfortunately is going to die, but the Lynx will get the wraparound, and that's actually gonna turn into a rather expensive hatch snipe. I mean, I know Cyclones are not crazy expensive, but that army was definitely a lot more expensive than a hatchery. I don't even think you need to rebuild this, to be completely honest. What is this? It's like 2100 minerals left in that base. I think I would much rather just focus on expanding towards the right side and indeed get my hands on this one. It is all good. There is a little gap in the middle of all of these depots, so the Lynx are going to run through. They get on top of the tanks. The first 2 tanks die. Lovely job here by Steadfast, by the way, sending a couple of Lynx into the mineral line, a couple of Lynx on top of the sensor tower, and he retreats with the Hydras. This is all very good stuff. As he's now expanding literally to every single location that he could expand to. All the bases at this point have been taken on Hecate. It's only a 20-minute map. But anywhere there could be a base, there currently is a base. You say Terran throw? I don't think this game has ever really been over. It is important, TOS player, and I know you're not always very nice, but I'm just going to remind you. These guys are not professional gamers. They are good in Starcraft, but they're not professionals. So comebacks that may not seem possible if you watch Maru against Zero are very possible when you watch NoMercy against Steadfast. You cannot expect these guys to play out the games in the exact same way as the best video gamers in the history of this beautiful video game, or planet even. Steadfast prefers Broodlords over Lurkers. Do we agree? I think I would prefer Lurkers, but okay. If he prefers Wooded Lords, he should do whatever the hell he wants. Banshees with Cloak and Hyperflight Rotos will get on top of a couple of these infestors. Steadfast says, alright, if your army is there, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get on top of your center base. There are 27 SCVs here as well. Would love to see these Hydras stick around for a little bit, because killing a base is nice, but imagine if you kill a base of 27 workers. That would be a whole lot better. We're gonna spam some fungals then, mate? Yes, we are going to spam some fungals. And another one. And these infestors are gonna do their best DJ Khaled impression as we land another one, another one, another one, and one final one until a lot of these Banshees and Cyclones die. There's chaos between these two. Ooh, a couple of Blue Flame Hellions now on top of a mineral line that has 0 units protecting it. But what Steadfast did have is Burrow, and he's going to use Burrow to keep his drone safe. Hydras will try to save the hatch. That does not happen. NoMercy for the second time loses basically every single unit to kill a hatch. The killing hatcheries is awesome, but it's just not worth that many mech units. And if Steadfast would have killed that base and all the SCVs, I think the game would have been over. The game might still be over as we have 110 supply of Zerg now getting on top of a couple of these tanks. Steadfast does need to bring all of his units here though. This is just a few Hydras at first. He has more. All that's left is 13 tanks and 6 Hellbats. We have lost 50 drones, 5 hatcheries, 549 Zerglings, and 88 Cyclones. 3 command centers in orbital. The most important base for NoMercy. He's gonna try to take it one more time. He's not gonna get it this time around. Steadfast will stick around a little bit longer. And he grabs 16 SCVs real quick. I am starting to really believe that this is gonna go Steadfast's way. Because NoMercy is just not getting the ultimate dream comp. Has a lot of good moves with the units that he's working with. But and maybe Thors and Ravens. Maybe that's it, but... It'd be awesome to see these Hellions get on top of the drones. That's kind of what they are supposed to do. They will sort of go for it in the end. Infestor with the fungal. It's hard to land a fungal. Oh, I don't know about going down this ramp though, Steadfast. That is a very choky area and the tank count is starting to get pretty damn high. I would love to see Steadfast again focus on the third here. I think that is something where he can find a lot of success. Maybe even with some burrowed infestors. Let's not go through this little choke point or go over this tiny bridge. Surprising, by the way, that nobody took out the rocks. It would really change the way that this game is getting played. We have not seen a single ghost in 44 minutes, Mr. OR1426. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of ghosts. Because game 1 we could have absolutely had ghosts, and here in game 2 we could have had ghosts. If 44 minutes we don't have ghosts, I think it's safe to say that he is not going to build them. Not comfortable with it, is probably what I think. There's a couple of the tank shots are big, by the way, on those banelings, so a lot of supply of Steadfast disappeared. We do land Neuro, but now we're landing Neuro on a couple of Cyclones, which is not as cool as landing it on the tanks. We have more Infestors coming in, but the Infestors are about to get fried by the Cyclones and the Hellbats. And after 25 minutes, it is not Steadfast, guys, who is going to win, as he has just lost everything here. It turns out that Hellbats, tanks, Thors, and Cyclones, and a Raven or two is good enough. The man has 24 siege tanks. What? That's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen that many tanks. 24 tanks. NoMercy says, hey Roddy, do you remember when you used to cast World of Tanks? Like, yeah, I kind of do. I'm not proud of it, but everybody made a mistake or two. Just kidding. It was a decent game. I love, oh my god, he's got money for 17 Mutalisk. Like, that's actually insane against 24 tanks. I just don't think that... I mean, we have one Thor. Actually, these Mutas can kill so much. I don't know. Can we really just win the game? 20? How does he have money for 23 Mutas? Yeah, I casted some World of Tanks. Obviously, the Mutalists do not have any attack upgrades. Go, fight that Thor. If once you fight that Thor, you can just go ahead and battle 25 tanks. Let's go, Steadfast. 19 Mutalists can kill a Thor. The most old school of tech switches of all time in any RTS ever. You have mass ground, I go mass air. Mass air beats mass ground that cannot shoot up. That is true, but every single unit on the ground is gonna kill everything else that you have on the ground. So the Mutas are doing their absolute best here, but yeah, I don't know. I think that NoMercy is too rich, has killed too many bases, is now building 5 Thors at once. Will they ever get stuck in? Doesn't look like it. What a ridiculous game. Steadfast is down to 22 drones though, guys. This is pretty much the only mining base he still has, and there is nothing defending it. So we're about to go from 20-something drones to a grand total of almost 0. Only 5 left, and all 5 of them are here. The man will actually go down to 0 drones. And the absolute stud muffin that Steadfast is says, you know what? I make 12 more links, baby. Because I don't need drones anymore. 26 mutas and 0 workers. We're probably going to get obliterated by the Widow Mines, missile turrets, and Thors. What a opening best of 5 of the night. After an hour of video gaming almost. We're going to be all tied up. I thought that this could turn into one of these series that would be over after like 22 minutes, you know, the entire best of 5, 3-0, man. That is not it. The Mutas will struggle a little as these Thors, guys, have +3 armor. +3 armor, +3 attack. And meanwhile, these Mutalisks have 0-0. Steadfast is right now on that next level, Hopium and Copium. After he sees this, I think he knows that he's mega dead. I hope he knows that he's mega dead. Because if he doesn't, well, he's about to be a sad boy, because he is. Mutalisks are good, but they will never be that good, guys. Especially not with 0-0 against 3-3. Look at me, a sniper tech lab. Actually has no money to rebuild a drone either. So he's just stuck forever, guys. We have 0 drones, and we have 11 minerals. So we can build a drone. This will forever be it. We can never build another unit or another building again. This game is over, but Steadfast is a warrior. And he wants to keep on battling. And he's going to give us at least some feisty fireworks. I like how now NoMercy is just going mass mine. He's got 18 of them. Killing the Overseer would be clutch. For the Banshees, you mean? To kill the buildings? But I don't think it really means. Or you mean for all the Widow Mines, obviously. Yeah, that could be cool too. But there's just no way. Yeah, for the mines. That makes a lot more sense. I was wondering. I was like, I don't think NoMercy needs to eliminate Steadfast. But yeah, with all the mines, it could be big. But it doesn't really matter. Steadfast says F1. I don't know. Tribute to Max Verstappen or... Non-Imba because he believes that maybe NoMercy is very broke and he can win the game with mass Mutalisks. Like, it's important to understand that these guys do not see... Yeah, I know Formula 1, F1, Max Verstappen, that's why I said it. It's important to understand that Steadfast does not have the same info as we have. He might think that all he needs to do is kill 2 or 3 Thors or 1 or 2 mines and then he will have a chance. He has seen bases, but he does not know. Because he has also taken out some production facilities, right? If he has the vision that we have, yes, he would leave immediately. And now he's going to see all those Thors, and he sees Widow Mines, and he sees turrets, and he knows he's dead. But the players do not have the same vision as we do. The moment he knows what we know, he leaves. And that is it. We're all tied up. After an hour of video gaming, what the hell have I done? I've created an animal. We go back to the European server. Fantasy would have won that game. What about our man Bly, though? My dad is calling me, guys. Do you guys think I have to pick that up? Who is that? Fantasy is a legendary Korean Terran. I don't know why my dad is calling me. I promise you guys that I have told my family for almost over a year now that I'm always available, but not on Monday between 6 and 11. And not on Friday between 6 and 11. But without failure, every single week, I will have a request for either the Monday night or the Friday night. It is impressive. I'm starting to believe that I'm being trolled by my own family, but I do not believe that they do the trolling thing, so... But I'm really starting to believe it. calling me again. Alright, I'm just gonna pick up as we are not in a game anyway. Ja, hallo. Ja, nou, veel plezier en misschien nog tot dadelijk. Hoi hoi. Fascinating, guys. My family just never listens to me. Alright. I'm just sitting here, I'm wondering, where are you? Same place as I always am on Monday and Friday evening. Behind the computer. Alright, game 3. Opening best of 5 of the night. What did he want? He's currently at the birthday of my brother's wife. They live very close to me. She's celebrating her 45th birthday today. And yeah, they are wondering where am I, but I think they should know. Alright, round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
Bottom right side of site Delta. We are looking at the main base of our German Terran. Lost on the European server, won on the American server, lost with Bio, wins with Mech. What is game 3 going to bring? This is NoMercy. Top left side of site Delta. We are looking at the main base of our Canadian Zerg. Caster, streamer, all around passion lord to this is Steadfast. Wonder if these nerds are gonna get tired. 2 games? An hour? This could turn into a legendary long best of 5 in the Big Brain Bouts. Yeah, Steadfast is streaming in games and he's listening to the Neon Cat YouTube video. Is that what's happening? Because you guys are talking about it, but I have no idea what the meme is. I saw that tweet, Bully, but I don't. To me, that is just not funny. I saw that some tweet went viral saying, like, is Dutch even a real language? And all it ever said was, we have een serieus probleem. That just means we have a serious problem. And that's very close to the English version, so I don't get why it's funny to you guys, but yeah, that is a real sentence. Bye, babe. Have fun. See you later. You can make ready. That is my woman who's also going to attend the birthday party. I will make it, guys. Unless Steadfast and NoMercy keep on playing 45-minute games, then by the time that I'm done tonight, I am not gonna make it in time, but yeah, we also have Rainer Clem. I think at this point, guys, we can just put the whole ghost idea to bed. Let's just say NoMercy is not going to build ghosts today. Not everybody is comfortable with every unit. Like, for instance, I play Protoss, as you guys know. When do you guys ever see me make an Oracle? Almost never. Is that because I think Oracles are bad? No, of course not. I know why. I know Oracles can be good. I know Oracles are good. But I suck with them. And if I suck with them, I'm not going to build them. Unless you want to do it 10,000 times until you're good with them. But I don't really enjoy it, and I'm just not that good with it. NoMercy probably doesn't really like using Ghost, or he's just not that good with it. And he's going to try to win in a different way. Can we get a prediction if at least one Ghost is going to be built? Well, we already have a prediction running, so that is not going to happen. Steadfast takes a little look and he sees that this command center is becoming an orbital. It is a good old 3-Rex, guys. A notorious build in the TVP. Not something we see mega often in TVZ, but it does make an appearance once in a blue moon. I have a great idea. Coco in the Big Brain Bouts. Coco has never played. And I have asked Coco, what the hell is it? No, what are we doing? Wait, oh my god, is this to kill an orbital? What is this? You don't do this. Add-on complete. You do this with a barracks, mate. You don't do this with an orbital. I am not a fan, guys. Not a fan. I know killing the Overlord is nice, but that is just really bad for your economy. And it's also like a little bit suspicious, right? Where it's like, hey, don't worry, man. Normal build over here. I'm just lifting my orbiter to kill your Overlord because I don't want you to see my really normal build. Like, Steadfast immediately is like, oh my god, I need Banelings. Yeah. No, I'm not a fan of that. But it's okay. I don't even know if he's gonna move out with the Marines or if he's gonna keep them at home and just wait until he's got medevacs. We'll see. I have asked Coco in the past, I think, for the Big Brain Bouts. But back then it didn't work out. I'm sure one of these days we can get an opening series with Coco. The only problem is that when you invite Coco into the BBB, you know the entire best of 5 is done in like 12 minutes. You don't know if she's going to win or lose, but you know that it's done in 12 minutes. So fitting Coco in the schedule is a little bit difficult. Maybe if we have like a TVT afterwards, we can do it. The Marines of NoMercy will move out in the end. I think it's a bit of an odd moment, because it's not very quick, but it's also not late enough that medevacs are here, so I don't know. Not sure why he's moving out, but I guess at the moment he would have a chance, because all of these guys do pack a punch, and the Marines with Stim and Combat Shield should do pretty good against Zerglings that don't have 1-1 upgrades yet, or don't have any Bailing support. Or maybe he just wants to snipe an Overlord or a Creep Tumor. We know that he hates Overlords. We don't know much about NoMercy, but we know that he hates an Overlord. I mean, that would just be another game of Starcraft non-impa. You could always do that, but most of the time the Fridays are long because we either have WTL Code S, or we have something like Masters Colosseum, or I play a whole bunch of ladder before we hop into these games. By the time that it's all done, then after 4 best of 5s, it's kind of just the perfect moment to wrap it up. He has indeed not done anything yet, but he is controlling the creep to some degree. And he's about to have a crazy amount of Marines. Marines do pack a punch, but Marines also get surrounded. It's a nice run. Can the medevac save Private Ryan? Ryan and a couple of his friends got saved. A couple of the bodies were unfortunately left behind and could not be saved. Barracks number 4 and 5 have gone up in the main. Steadfast is on 46 drones, which is not necessarily fantastic, but it's okay. If NoMercy gets the cancel on the hatch, he is kind of cooking, and that should be a relatively easy cancel as the Lings are out of position. 1-1 upgrade still not done, and we have a bit of that dilemma of game 1 repeating itself, where Steadfast is just floating a little too much money early into the game. Coco Lino, best of 45. I would love it, Benny, but I don't think they would ever agree to it. 2 of the queens do end up getting targeted down here. Steadfast is now still a 3-hatch Zerg. And just like in game 1, I'm starting to believe that NoMercy is looking good and he's sharp and should be able to make something of this game. Even if I didn't really love the initial build order and whatnot. He looks good once you give him Marines with Stim and a couple of medevacs. You think NoMercy's got this? I think so as well. Upgrades, however, are heavily in favor of Steadfast. And you don't see it that often that the Zerg is ahead in upgrades, but it happens every now and then. The other day I had somebody in my chat, he might be listening right now, he's like, Roddy, shut up, the Zerg is always behind in upgrades. And it's like, often, yes. Always, no. There is no such thing that really applies to every single game of Starcraft ever. This time around, Steadfast is very far ahead. The Bailing Nest, however, is going to get sniped before Bailing Speed finishes up. So that's actually a pretty big pickoff. It really sounds like that wasn't you. I know who it is if I see his name. There's a tiny Link counterattack that will kill 7 SCVs. It's not too bad. I don't know if that really makes up for losing our Bailing Nest and getting the 4th base cancelled over and over again. Look at Steadfast, his money, guys. Can spend his money because the only thing he can build is Zerglings. But he cannot now morph those 40 Zerglings into Bailings as the Marines are here. At this moment, the upgrades are even. And if upgrades are even and medevacs are healing, Marines should be able to take a very good trade. Steadfast is under an immense amount of pressure. And he's starting to float a little bit too much. Medevacs do end up dying. One of the Overlords gets picked off. As these 2 medevacs will fly over the hatch. In the end, our Canadian Zerg kind of keeps it together, but look at the difference, guys, in macro. Steadfast on 1800 minerals, NoMercy on 100. RotterdaM normally trashes Z for no adrenal glands. Well, mate, I don't know if you want me to be angry at Steadfast for not having adrenal glands when he's on lair tech, but you know, we can do it, sir. First of all, I don't trash anybody. I don't know why you're making shit up. I do not trash people. I will point out if Adrenal Glands is missing, if we are losing 500 links. Yes, and I will keep repeating it. Because it is a very important upgrade. Am I going to talk about Steadfast not having Adrenal Glands on Lair Tech? No. That is not going to happen. 5 drones get picked off as NoMercy again gets a cancel on one of the hatches. By the way, Rainer, I know it's at 9 p.m. mate, but with the pace that these two guys are bringing, it is going to be 10 p.m. just so you know. Maybe you can tell the little bro to step it up tonight and get a clean victory on the board. But this is just turning into a best of 5 for the ages. Getting close to the clamps peak times. We gotta nerve you a little, mate. You had a great afternoon. A victory over the best Protoss player on the planet. Claymore had a tough one. We gotta at least give it to Clem. To make sure that he's playing in his comfortable environment. There's NoMercy is here to pick up all of these Marines. He's doing a really good job, guys, in just keeping up the pressure. He's about to even up the upgrades as well. Once these upgrades are even, if he keeps on building tanks, Marines, medevacs the way he's currently doing, I think he's going to be able to end it. I believe that we have reached the point of no return. It feels that Steadfast just can't spend his money anymore. Look at NoMercy, he's picking up units. He is showing up in every single spot that Steadfast does not want him to show up. There's another queen dice. I believe that this is kind of it. Like if Steadfast would randomly be able to spend all of his money, he still has a shot. But how do you do that? Okay, those are good baiting connections. Look at NoMercy, man. This boy's on fire. All of a sudden, he has turned into Big Gabriel. Oh, yeah. My superior skill allows me to drop in 4 different locations. My opponent only has 1 screen. Not NoMercy and not Gabe. They are everywhere. They need to be. More drones die. More hatcheries on the fire. Steadfast is doing his absolute best to keep it together, but this is probably not going to be it. He's down to 2 queens. Does have 75 Zerglings. Hive has finished up, and look at that. There you go, sir. He is going to spend some of his money on his upgrade. I am very aware that he is back, Mr. Willie Nelson. But it does not mean that he's better, mate. I also do not believe that he ever will be better. But I hope that I'm wrong. One way to spend money that you've been sitting on for a long time is obviously build expensive units. I've also noticed that whenever I play with gateway units, it can sometimes be a bit harder to keep my money low than when I'm building expensive units like carriers or Colossus. Obviously the Zerg equivalent of some expensive units are Ultras, and Steadfast says, alright, it is my time to spend that money. And to be fair, if he gets 6 Ultras, guys, with Kindness Plating and +3 Carapace, these 50 Marines are actually going to be in a bit of trouble. Like, it feels that Steadfast has been dead. It feels that he should be dead. But it's gonna be hard for Marines to kill this many Ultras with 3-3. Please get some Liberators at least, mate. If you get Liberators, NoMercy, you're fine. You don't need Ghost here. We know that the man does not like the Ghost. We have established that. But if you're only staying on... That matter of fact looks weird, by the way. You guys see that? If you're only staying on Marine Tank, you're gonna have a tough time dealing with Ultras. Oh my! Oh! He knows! He's found it, baby! NoMercy, after, I don't know, 75 minutes of TVZ says, you know what? It would be good here, guys. A Ghost Academy. So the man does like Ghost. But he just doesn't like it in certain games. He likes it against them Ultras. Uh-oh. This is actually going to be kind of awkward, man. As these Ultras are going to be very tanky. 3-3 is about to kick in, and it's so many Marines, but Marines just kind of tickle the Ultras. Steadfast says, alright mate, you've had your time, now it's my time, but oh, these Ultras are going to run into a million tanks, and Yeah, Marines alone would have a tough time, but 6 tanks and that many Marines and Marauders, that's good enough. We still haven't seen a Ghost, by the way. Now NoMercy is like, ha, I just dropped the Ghost Academy to make you attack into me before I would have the Ghost that I will never build. Tanks are not necessarily sick against Ultras, but I guess if you have 6 tanks shooting at a bunch of Ultras next to each other, they're pretty good. You're the best, Benny. You're very sweet, mate. I appreciate you. Few SCVs will be greeted by a couple of links with Adreno Glands and 3-3 upgrades, but kind of felt that Ultra attack was the Hail Mary play that Steadfast had. Imagine a world where he had an Infestor or 2 as well, guys. He's gonna build them now, speaking of, but I don't think it's gonna be in time. I've said that for a while, though. You never know. These guys obviously are good, but not perfect. So comebacks are possible. It feels like it's just been such a nightmare of a game for Steadfast. If I was Steadfast, I would have left this game like 3 times over. Be like, alright, I get it, mate. You're everywhere. You're dropping everywhere. You're killing my stuff. I'm not allowed to spend my money. I'm down to 40 drones. You've got it. But Steadfast is a warrior. And a few links will kill every single SCV in the top right side. That's not going to work out. Maybe no. Oh my goodness, he's building Ghost. He's building Ghost. He's done it. Too. Shout out to Mr. Fargood, by the way, for the 87 months, mate. Super long time. Thank you. And to my man Air. Air, I got a email from Stream Elements that has like my yearly review. And you were the top donator of 2023. Oh, Air. Make sure to look after yourself, mate. You're number 1. Did the ghosts complete? Yes, the ghosts are out. Steadfast is gonna build 15 drones and a couple of infestors. They're out. Are they chilling on the beach? Or will they go? I want to hear it, guys. Never thought I would say these words, but I want to hear pew pew. Sometimes when you look at games, you just know that they've been very exhausting games. If I was these guys and I'm stressed and I'm doing my best and I know there's money on the line and there are people watching, I'd be so exhausted after these 3 games. I'm happy to hear that, STYG. I think it's been a good showing so far. I know I've said it for a while, but it does feel that this one is over, and it's finally over. GG gets called. Yes, we built goals, but no, they did not battle. NoMercy takes the 2-1 lead over Steadfast, who had an amazing first game. Last 2 games. Game 2, I think it was within reach. This third game had a good surround, but once NoMercy started getting the medevacs and he started dropping everywhere, it became a bit too much. So we go back to the American server for game 4 between these two. One hell of a series, man. One hell of a series. The nerds are really battling. Ghosts are useless. We don't need ghosts to win. No, it's been very fun. I actually see what did my man Air say? Go Roddy, go Big Brain Bouts, making my time stuck in some office closet better. What a banger series. Yeah, as an opening series of the night, it really has been solid. It's been entertaining, it's been very competitive, and that is all we look for. We know that these guys are not Rainer and Clem. That's okay. You don't have to be. Starcraft can be fun as long as the games are competitive. It's the only true motto. Game 4, El Sione. Good evening, Mr. Katan Roach. Welcome. Let's go Steadfast. See if we can turn things around. It is a Terran map though, but you guys know what the Zergies say. And Lambo is going to tell you guys all about it tonight. Every map is kind of a Terran map. There are 9 maps. Terran gets 2 vetoes, which means 7 maps are left. 7 Terran maps, baby.
Round 4. Fight!
Top right side of El Sione. We are looking at the main base of our German Terran making his debut in the Big Brain Bouts. He has never played before on the Friday night. Reached out to me and said, Roddy, I'd love to play. We made it happen so far. And I think an amazing performance by the German Terran NoMercy, representing Maral Esports. Bottom left side of El Sione, our Canadian Zerg Stud Muffin. Believe he's streaming as well. You guys can always find his channel on twitch.tv/SteadfastSC. The man casts a lot of Starcraft and plays a lot of Starcraft as well. Canadian Zergy, Storm Gaming. This is Steadfast. You wish Roddy could cast one of my pleb games? It's always possible, mate. Not necessarily on the Friday night, but on other moments. I have a channel point redemption in which you can make me watch your replays. And if you really want to, I could cast one of your games. The only problem with me saying that I'll cast community games is that you often get ridiculous requests. It's like, hi Roddy, I played this 1 hour and 39 minutes EVP. You want to cast it? And I'm like, no. I will gladly cast your 9-minute timing attack. That's fine, but I'm not going to cast your 100-minute terrible game. Your games, Reina, yes, but only if you end up losing. You know that's the motto, mate. You're not gonna make it onto my YouTube channel unless you lose. That series against Spirit, though, guys, was a good one. You won, I'm not interested. Not interested at all. What do we got over here? We've got the barracks expand with a factory coming up on the high grounds. Reaper first. We obviously made a Reaper on Hecate. And we lost the Reaper to the Queen. That is not supposed to happen. Roddy pulling a loco. It's kind of the OG Roddy. Yeah, I believe that everybody has been enjoying those rain and losses lately on the YouTube streets. They just do well. It turns out, guys, that the people on YouTube just really love watching Rainer lose. Rainer wins game is 8, you cast a couple games, nobody cares, nobody clicks on it. But Rainer losing? Oh baby. There is a secret cult community out there that just can't stand Rainer. I want to meet these people. They just sit there in their discords waiting for another streamer to upload another Rainer loss. And those are the videos that go semi-viral. You think that community... Yeah, Reddit has been weird to Rainer in the past. I think Reddit is like very two ends of the spectrum in general when it comes to Rainer. You have people who understand Rainer, who see Rainer, who appreciate him for the awesome human that he is. And then you've got a bunch of people like, Rainer is just cocky. I really don't like him. Rainer is cocky. Like, what has he ever done? It's like, kind of won Katowice, 2 home story cups, game is 8. It's pretty good. Yeah, but I don't like it. He said he was going to beat his opponent in one of the interviews. Like, oh my God. Guys, stop. Right now, stop it. The man was confident going into a video game. It's unbelievable. Interesting opening here by our man NoMercy. Triple CC, double factory, and some blue flame Hellions. So he really is switching it up. He's making it hard for Steadfast to figure out what Steadfast has to prepare for. And obviously what we have seen, I mean, you guys mentioned roaches in the beginning, and I also remember Steadfast a long time ago being a bit of a roach enjoyer. Throughout the night, we've seen very few roaches. I don't even know if he's built a single roach warren so far. So maybe opening up with a bunch of Hellions with blue flame could be a solid way to victory for our man NoMercy. The GSR run. You had a few more things. I remember once you had like the most... Oh yeah, what was it about? You made a joke about the Balance Council. And people took it very serious. Rainer was public enemy number 1 because he made 2 jokes about the Balance Council. They're like, he's responsible for this. I'm worried, by the way, guys, here for Steadfast. Enough about Rainer for a split second. We'll talk more about Rainer later tonight, as he's going to battle Clem for the second time in 24 hours. Tiny bit concerned for our man Steadfast, because he has not seen the double factory setup, and he does not know that this is Blue Flame. And at the moment, we have no Baneling Nest. To that one weird guy in the chat, we also have no Adrenal Glands. I know that you need Hive for that, but the other guy doesn't. Alright, Baneling Nest goes down. That's important. Because if a bunch of Hellions morph into Hellbats and show up at Cyclones and Blue Flame, and all we have is Lynx, we'd be in trouble. Steadfast now sees that these Hellions shoot Blue Flame. And it seems that you guys are enjoying yourselves in the chat, and that makes me happy. Wouldn't hate a couple safety Banes immediate, but probably... Hey, first a Roach one. Oh, we have a tiny Link run by as well, guys. Look at this. Maybe Steadfast a bit inspired by those Link run bys on Alcyone yesterday. This one not that successful. Turns out that doing Link run bys against Blue Flame Hellions is difficult. Another surprise Pikachu moment. What is these? These are Blue Flame Hellions that are going to be dropped in the corner of the main. Armory is done, so they could morph into Hellbats, but maybe feels that he does not have the time for it. Steadfast doing, I think, a better job in spending his money, but he's still floating a little. And this is obviously where it's going to get hard, as there are Hellions keeping him busy. And the left side of the map, in the triangle, is going up to 4 bases, though. How many Banshees do we have? Because I see Banshees, just one. NoMercy not totally certain where he wants to go with that medevac. Seems like we donated a couple of Hellions here to the Queens. Our next best of 5 tonight is going to be between a Polish Zerg player called Snogstar, but we're going to call him Snorlax, because that's fun. And everybody loves Pokemon. And Ashbringer. Ashbringer has played quite a few times in the Big Brain Bouts, but since he's asking me each and every single week, eventually I gotta give him a series. He's now even DMing me tournament results that he plays in. So alright, Ashbringer, I get it, mate. You're doing your best. It's time. Factory count is currently at 3, as we have 4 more on the way. We have Cyclones, we have Banshees, we have Hellions. Hurricane Thrusters and Blue Flame. Steadfast. Maybe didn't plan on building a lot of roaches tonight, but against this army comp, I guess he kind of feels that he's forced to. We have a Baneling Nest, but not really didn't really use it yet for anything. Poor Ashbringer is doing his best, yeah. He's not that poor, mate. He's been invited almost as many times as every other previous Team Roddy kid out there. I know Cuckoo and Baby Marine have played a decent amount. But Ashbringer is starting to lead the charge, man. Thank you to Nanimba for the 25 buckies, man. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. As NoMercy makes it to the 4th base of Steadfast. He's going to get on top of it. He's going to kill a whole bunch of drones. We have Lynx, Banes, Roaches, and Ravages that are going to get a surround on these Cyclones. I feel like we've seen this a couple of times throughout this series, where the entire Cyclone army gets surrounded and gets picked off. And that was a pretty big victory for Steadfast. Kind of wish that the Banshee would have just gone for that hatch, because there really wasn't that much anti-air around at first. Now the Banshee shoots at that hatchery and actually gets picked off by the Queens. A little bit scary now for our German Terran, who's all of a sudden down 59 army supply. He does have some Banshees here, and Queens obviously are going to have a hard time making it off creep. Steadfast is going to drop a Spire with 67 drones. He is obviously behind economically, but he is ready to make that a whole lot closer, as the Banelings are here. They blow up 15 SCVs very quick. Lynx, Roaches, and Ravages. We haven't seen any Roaches and Ravages yet, but look at them shine. Because they just obliterate the tanks. They obliterate the Cyclones. That will do it. Steadfast sends us to a game 5. And everyone loves a game 5.
Thanks for the fun times.
So now we're gonna do a coin toss live on air. Who gets to choose? Let's Steadfast. Steadfast can choose head or tails. Because obviously we have an American player and a European player. So we did 2 games on Europe, 2 games on NA. They went 1-1-1-1. Steadfast says heads. Let's see. Trigger is not very lucky in winning coin tosses. Let's see if the other Canadian does better. Heads or tails? It is heads. It's just Trigger who's very unlucky. So I guess he will pick an A. Game 5 for our opening series of the night, as we are now over 30 minutes behind schedule, but that's okay. Other than the birthday party, I'm not in a rush. And honestly, these nerds are doing me a massive favor. I don't mind showing up a bit late. I'm not going to make it in time to see my mom and dad anyway, so the rest, it doesn't really matter. 5th game will be played on Hardlet. After that, we'll take a tiny break, and then we get ready for our Polish PVZ. Well, Polish against Russian PVZ. Game's got all that matters. Game's good, you mean? Yeah, Snockstar. Or Snorlax. He is Polish. Steadfast's Wikipedia state that his winnings are approximately 81 buckies. Well, if he wins this game 5, he wins 60 more. Obviously, if you're a Twitch streamer, you don't normally participate for prize money. And he is not a professional gamer. You know, gas prices are high, so here's a little something to light that fireplace. No, mate. You're not going to get me with that. I appreciate the 100 bits, but no more fireplace. The damage has been done. No more. Let's do it, guys. Game 5. A rubber match for our opening best of 5 of the night. Who could have thought that this was accidentally going to be an amazing best of 5? A Canadian caster, a German ladder legend are a perfect match for one another. All you need is love. All you need is a random match to work out.
Final round. Fight!
Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of our German Terran, who is going for low ground depot, I hope, I think, or... Oh my. Well, what are we doing here? Oh my, really? The man lost the coin toss and said, F it, I'll gamble again. This is Moral Esports NoMercy. Top left side, we are looking at the main base of our Canadian Zerg, streamer, caster, all around stud muffin. This is Storm Gaming Steadfast. And he is going to get cheesed, guys, in game 5. Winner of the opening series of the night gets $60. The loser gets 15. 6-0 and 1-5. Since you guys are always weird about it. And he's going to go for the committed one, too. Not proxy 2 Rex. We're going to make it proxy 3 Rex, baby. Where's that Overlord going, Steadfast? So from here on out, guys, we are just going to follow Steadfast his camera. At this point, Steadfast is Scotty from Eurotrip. And you guys know what that means. He's not Matt Damon. And he's gasless too. I don't know how good NoMercy is in this, but I feel like with how late Steadfast is going to see this, it's honestly going to be pretty problematic. He's got kind of a late extractor as well, obviously the 128. So Link speed would be late. If he wants to go Bane Links, which is not recommendable, that will be late. Roaches, I guess, are always an option, but you can also just die. If 12 Marines walk up your ramp, you could just be in all sorts of trouble. Poor Steadfast still does not know. He is gonna build one set of Zerglings, but now he's building a drone. He still doesn't know. Oh, he does see nothing. Does this make the alarm bells go off? No, he's making more drones. Steadfast is like, one base, no biggie. And now he sees SCVs as he's trying to go to 3 bases. He's like, oh my god, you're doing that? Yeah. What did you think, Steadfast? That we were friends here? Never trust the Germans, mate. Felt like if anybody should know, it's the Canadians, but... I'm gonna throw up a couple of bunkers. One spine goes up in the natural, but it's gonna take a long time. He's gonna at least have 2 queens to work with. This is about as good of a start as NoMercy could have ever wished for. I'm afraid. Aw, poor Steadfast. He played a good series. Maybe he's not totally done yet, but this feels very, very rough. Especially because this is not 2 racks, but it's 3 racks. That means 3 Marines at a time. 1 queen very low on HP. It's obviously really stressful to micro your queens right now. 1 queen will fall. The other one is very low on HP. We have double spine. But I don't think that's good against triple racks non-stop Marine. Actually, is starting to run low on HP. The spines are making a little bit of progress. The Marines can honestly just battle this spine, man. There are so many. A transfuse does go down, but the Marines should still just go for the spine. Will go for the spine. What's the link on now? 13, okay. Yeah, they're gonna be slow Zerglings forever. So easy to count slow the Zerglings, and unfortunately this hatch will fall. And that means that Steadfast is in trouble. What do we do now? Build 3 overlords at once. NoMercy, honestly, if he keeps on building Marines, guys, he just wins. Because there is nothing to be afraid of. But he does not know that. He's now playing it safe. He doesn't want to throw. But if you just build nothing but Marines, and you get on top of that spine with like 20 Marines, you're totally fine. And then you walk into the main and you win. Look at how late that Roach one is. Slow Zerglings are not scary. 1 queen is not scary. 1 spine is not scary. He's actually gonna wait until he has Stim. Might be good, but he's going full Han Mono over here. Han Mono always does his stuff. It is Han Mono, right? The Japanese Terran? I mean, by waiting, he could make life hard on himself. Because earlier there was literally nothing that Steadfast could have done. Now maybe the queens will have energy, you can drop a transfuse, you're gonna get a couple of roaches out, you can spam some corrosive ball. You can always hop Marines. You can hop Marines in on the right side and move them out on the left side. They don't have to go in and out from the same side, so this being a full wall-off is not necessarily a mistake. And obviously if he's bothered by it, if he wants to parade push, he can always salvage a bunker. So I think NoMercy knows the follow-up. He's going to throw down a scan. And now I think he sees like, this can actually still get kind of tough. Now he's dropping a factory. I feel like he's second-guessing himself a little. Obviously, if Steadfast would make one little mistake here with the Ravages, and nobody ever wants to be a one-base Zerg, I think NoMercy can still stim forward, get on top of the Ravages. Our Terran should be very far ahead, and is very far ahead. Is there a world where it goes wrong? Maybe. I don't really know how, but I'm sure if you try hard enough to lose a game of Starcraft, there is always a way. The thing is, one-base Nidus doesn't do anything, right? Even if, like, let's say you would go for a Nidus. What are you going to Nidus? 5 Ravages? It's going to get surrounded by SCVs. But yeah, basically Steadfast was dead, and now he's got the tiniest of tiny chances to maybe make something of this game. Because NoMercy is giving him slightly more wiggle room than he deserves. We still don't have a command center, by the way, so it is one base against one base. It's kind of weird that he wants to go one base Marine, Marauder, Stim, Combat Shield. Alright, we will expand. It is the opposite of a quick expand, but we will expand. Now bleeding out a few Marines that we really didn't have to lose. Steadfast has no idea how much buy there is. If this buyer stims forward, like, please don't go home. Can you just stim in and win? There's no way that these Ravages win the fight. This army packs is such a big punch. There is no way. The schedule's out of the window, mate. The birthday party is gone. Sorry to my brother's wife. It is what it is. Starcraft 2 comes first, dear. Now even Zergling speed is gonna kick in. What is he scared of? I don't know. He wants to play it safe. It is gonna be harder now, because now there is obviously that spine to worry about too. But we're still gonna go for it, guys. The guy with the gun. Do not collect corrosive balls with your army. The Zerglings don't really stand a chance. We are gonna stim forward. We're gonna get on top of Ravages. And in his debut, guys, the opening night of the Big Brain Bouts, or at least the opening series of this edition of the Big Brain Bouts, it will be NoMercy, a German Terran player, 5,100 MMR. That's gonna walk away with the $60 if he is willing to actually end it for us, but he is not. He is still afraid. I kind of thought that this was going to be my GG speech, guys, but NoMercy's like, no, brother, it's not gonna be that easy. I want you to talk about me more. He's enjoying the limelight. It's like, this series has only been going on for 100 minutes. I think we can go on for a little while longer. It was a fun series. I'm a bit sad for Steadfast, but hey, Steadfast did have an absolutely fantastic first game with a lot of great moves. That is something he can be proud of. And he still gets $15, even if he didn't win. NoMercy, mate. For the love of everything, can we now end it? This is starting... Oh my god, he lost the medevac to corrosive balls. We're in the main, guys. We're in the main. If Steadfast ever has anything that you need to be afraid of, it is here in the main. He has now lost 2 medevacs to the Ravages, but I still believe that the Marines and Marauders are good enough. Reinforcements have arrived. Was it necessary? No. Is it going to be good enough? Yes. NoMercy wins our opening best of 5. A great series between these two. A very long series. I think one of the longest opening bouts we've ever had. But in the end, it is our German Terran NoMercy who wins $60. Congrats to him. That was fun. GG's. I hope that Steadfast still had fun as well. A little bit sad that he got proxied in that final game, but hey. That now you get the full, real competitive Zerg experience. You're a competitive video Zerg gamer for money. Prepare to get proxied. That was good. GG's. I'm gonna go ahead, guys, and take a little break. Grab myself some water. After that, I'll be back with Snorlax, aka Snogstar, versus Ashbringer. A PVZ. I'll see you guys soon.